Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sivakumar from RentalSaaS.com. Thank you for joining us for this webinar on the repair and service module of RentalSaaS. We have a number of people who have joined us, and we are grateful for your time. This webinar will run approximately 30 to 45 minutes. Initially, there will be a bit of presentation followed by the demonstration of the repair and service module, and we will conclude with question and answers. Right. Before we get started on the repair and services module demonstration and details of it, there are some housekeeping things to be done. On your GoToWebinar panel, you'll see an orange button. You can expand and collapse the control panel by using the orange button with a white arrow. Because this webinar is going to be quite intensive in terms of bandwidth utilization, that is video, audio, etc., we recommend that you close down your internet intensive applications like email, Skype, any instant messaging application, chat sessions, etc. Also on your panel, you'll see an area where you can type in questions. So feel free to type the questions in there and click the send button. And at the end of the webinar, we will endeavor to answer all your questions. Thank you. RentalSaaS premise has been always to help you gain better visibility and tighter control in your business. I'm sure a number of you have realized in the last many months that we have introduced a lot more functionality and a lot more enhancements to the overall system, and we've had really positive feedback from a lot of customers, and we are continuing to improve the overall system so that you as our customers get maximum benefit out of your investment in the RentalSaaS system. In the last couple of weeks, we have implemented the repair and service module, and these are the three topics we will cover at today's webinar. How to schedule your regular servicing of your equipment and maintenance of your equipment, also any ad hoc service or maintenance, and how these integrate with your Zero organization. That is, the system will allow you to maintain your spare parts catalog, maintain different service types. You may have like a major service or a minor service, or 2,000 hour service, or 20,000 hour service, or 5,000 kilometer service. Depending on your equipment, you can define your own service types. You can also maintain your own status, because every industry and every business has their own unique requirements in terms of maintaining status of their equipment. Could be available, not available, could be under repair, not repair. These are different terminologies that is unique to your own business. You can configure them all yourself. You can schedule future services and repairs, and if you have regular ongoing service, either you do for your own equipment or for equipment for your customers, you can undertake them on your behalf, on their behalf. And we'll show you how you can link these to rental transactions, as well as doing ad hoc service, a one-off service on equipment that either you own or you do not own, but still you want to keep track of it and see what has happened to it, etc. And most importantly, the system will show how you can post purchase orders to your suppliers in Zero for the spare parts that you maintain within the system. So without further ado, we'll jump into the RentalSaaS system and we'll start going through the various aspects of the repair and service module. We'll go and open our favorite browser and log into RentalSaaS, and I'll zoom into the full screen so that you can see the screen in full. Now, before you can start using the repair and maintenance module, we have to do some housekeeping, such as maintaining your spare parts catalog, your service types, status, equipment as well as for your work orders. So these are under the configuration menu. Now you can see you have two separate groups, one for RentalSaaS in terms of the rental application and another one for repair and maintenance. And repair and maintenance configuration has got 4 key areas. First being spare parts, then service type maintenance, then work order status maintenance, and equipment status. So we'll first start with the spare parts. Now, these are the spare parts that you keep as part of your business. That is, you have spare parts available for maintaining your forklifts or your trucks, your party equipment, or for your other aspects of your business like audio visual. You have such equipment, and to maintain these you need spare parts. So this screen allows you to maintain as many spare parts as required. So you can have things like silencers, exhaust system, all again it's configurable by you. Now these are not the items that you rent out, but these are specifically spare parts. So you can keep track of what you have in terms of spare parts that you require for your servicing and maintenance of equipment. So you can enter a spare part name, and you can double click an existing entry, and you can just put a cost value on it. You can specify who the supplier is and the supplier part number and any description. Like these are Superior spark plugs to be used for XXX equipment. And you can obviously specify the expense account if you want to buy these and the tax code. And you can save the details. At any point in time, you can go to this menu and add or delete details. The next one is your service type. Again, the service type, as you can see, has got 4 tabs associated with it. So we'll go through each one of those. I've just got a couple of sample ones called after rental service or machinery service, like a 1,000-kilometer service or something like that. So if I go through to after rental service, it tells you what are the various tasks to be performed as part of this service type. Because for different services that you perform on your equipment, there may be different tasks required. So things like hose down dirt, prepare for service, receive into the yard, do some visual inspection, then we can say something like prepare, manifest, or something like that. Click submit. So you can have as many tasks as required, and then finally you can have final inspection, to be done by Jacob and approval to be made before returning to yard. I hope I can spell. So again, there is no restriction on the tasks that you maintain. Then you can have a service checklist. So you can do things like brakes, check for foot brake and hand brake operation, any safety warning devices, check your gauges, check your steering operation. So again, you can have unlimited entries in this. Then for this particular service type, that is after rental service, you can specify what are the spare parts required. So out of the spare parts list, you may select, all right, I have got 3 listed in here. Then you can say I want something more. I need something like exhaust systems, and I need 2 units of that. So you can add any number of spare parts from your spare parts list into this. So you can pick and choose the ones that you require and add it into the list. You can also attach documentation. For example, if you have things like an user manual or an operator's manual for your forklifts or for your equipment, you can add them into this area. So I've just got a PDF of something, so you can attach documents up to 5 megabytes in size. So once these are set up, so you can have again as many service types as you require. We have some organizations who have 20 different service organizations, 20 different service types based on the kind of equipment that they maintain. So again, you can have all of these configured to your own requirements. You can also specify your own work order status. Again, this is configurable by you. You can specify the status being awaiting status, complete, open schedule, work in progress, whatever that makes appropriate sense to you, you can use it. Again, you can call it whatever you like. There is no restriction on what you want to call it for your own business. Same with your equipment status. Again, you can have all of these configured to your own requirements. So you can have that the equipment status is open to sign off, to pre-filing, or partially permitted, or full permit. So again, configurable by you. So you can set these to your own requirements. Having done these housekeeping work, starting with the spare parts through the service types and through to equipment status, we can now start to apply these into the actual repair and maintenance or service maintenance of your equipment. Right? As part of your inventory that you are familiar with, we have now got an alert tick box that you can specify. So for any equipment that you wish to service upon completion of a rental, you can tick this on. For example, in mobility field, when you have wheelchairs or other hospital equipment coming back after rentals, for health reasons, they all need to be completely serviced and cleaned and then put back into the rental area. So at that, for those kind of equipment, you can specify a service alert. And so at the time of termination, the system will alert you that these equipment need to be serviced before returning to the yard. Right. There are 2 menus available on your repair and maintenance main screen. One is item maintenance. Again, these are scheduled maintenance for your equipment. For suppose you have monthly maintenance or maintain every 6 months or so, you can specify all of those things in here. And you can have work orders created for those. We also have the service scheduler, which allows you to do either regular maintenance or ad hoc maintenance for any of your equipment that you own or rent out, or any cross-rental equipment that you have from your suppliers. So we'll start with the item maintenance screen. So we can create a new one or maintain an existing one. So this work order refers to an after rental service. Its current status is in progress, and this is the priority. And in the service register, this is where we specify the equipment that we're going to maintain. So we're going to maintain this particular equipment, bar fridge, and this is when the maintenance will happen. So we can have a service description of perform complete overhaul, review checklist first, etc. And any remarks basically to be signed off by site supervisor. Again, you can specify your own remarks. So you can specify, all right, this equipment has to start at 8 o'clock and must finish by 4:30 p.m. and overall duration is 4 hours and 50 minutes, and assigned to Josh. And either you can have it at your in-house or at customer premises. It's up to you. And obviously, for this equipment, you can look at the overall service history. And so this, as and when you perform servicing or maintenance on your equipment, this area will be updated, so you can see a list of when your equipment was serviced previously. Having specified what your work order is, we can now go into the service scheduler, and this is basically where you specify how the equipment is serviced and what are the various things attached to it. So it includes various areas such as item details, labor, any charges, attachment, tasks, checklist, etc. Now, you can specify that, for example, when your equipment is at a customer site, you can still specify the equipment is still available for rental. Basically, you have a contract with your customer that when they rent it, you will send out your people regularly to service the equipment while at premises, and so you can tick off whether the equipment is available for rental as and when they service. Or if you don't specify that, then the equipment is deemed to be taken off rental for servicing, and then once the servicing is completed, the rental starts again. So we'll go through each one of these fairly quickly. So this is an existing service schedule. You can also start with a blank service schedule and fill in the details yourself. Or you can select an existing work order that you have previously prepared. So either you can start with a brand new one, or you can select an existing work order. For example, you may have scheduled a 6-monthly service for an equipment and you created a work order for it. So you can just open it up and start to maintain that as a service schedule. So let's explore a few things in here. It tells you that this items is available for rental. So this is the item code and this is the quantity. If it's not a bulk item, if it's one of your serial numbered item, then the serial number will be shown here. So let's look at another equipment. So this tells you that this equipment is to be maintained and it's based on serial number, and this particular serial number is what we're gonna maintain. And you can specify these things. Charge the item while rental, and it's available for rental at the same time. So here we have the service type. This is the service we're gonna do, and this is the start time and this is the end time, and this is status is now scheduled, and you can specify your odometer or your machine hour reading in here. Now these are the items, spare parts that are required to undertake this service work. So the system specifies 3 different items. You can add additional items by selecting from the list, and you can say, all right, I'm going to include a silencer, and I'm going to add it to the list. Right. You can also specify labor details. Say, for example, we have an external person, Jacob. We can also have an internal person, Josh, to do the work as well. In subsequent releases of the repair and maintenance module, we can have links to the payroll module of Xero so that your staff can be picked up straight from Xero. We're already working on the next version release of the repair and maintenance, which will have few functionality, which I'll come to you later during this webinar. So you can list all your people who will be working on the equipment. And again, you may have some custom charges associated with it. I'm sure you're all familiar with the custom charges that you use as part of your rental, things like delivery, pickup, etc. You may have specific custom charge for cleaning or repair and maintenance or something like that, or an environment levy, etc. So you can use those custom charges in here as well. In addition to the attachments that come through as part of your this thing, can also have additional documents to attach at this stage. And you can now specify the service task that needs to be done. Again, these come through based on the service type that you select. So all of these come through based on the service type that you select. However, you can add additional tasks based on what work needs to be done at that stage. Similarly, the checklist. These come through based on the service type selected, and you can add additional details to it. At any time, you can add comments or logs, so you can specify this equipment was returned with damages to lights and mirrors. Say Jacob. So with all this, you have a complete audit trail on the kind of work that you undertake. So what we can do is we can save these details, and it says the selected period item is hired by customer. Do you still want to create a service schedule? Yes, we do. We are contracted to provide the service for the customer. So therefore, we will continue with the service schedule. And now we can print the service so that you can send it to your service technicians, and they have the complete list of all the work to be done. It'll have it your own company logo, so it will include what is the main item here, and then you can say these are the labor that need to be used, these are the service tasks that need to be performed. Gives you enough space for you to make notes, and obviously the checklist that needs to be performed before undertaking the work. So it gives you a complete printout that you can print and file away as part of your service work. Now, at this stage, you may want to buy some of your spare parts. Right? Say, for example, this particular timing lamp, we don't have any of them available. So you want to raise a purchase order for the timing lamp. So simply click the button called Raise Purchase Order, and the system will raise a purchase order for the timing lamp to the supplier. So it tells you the spare parts order has been posted to Xero successfully. So imagine the time savings you'll have when you need to order parts for your servicing of equipment. The system will collate all the items belonging to a particular supplier and order them in one go. That way, you have full control of what you need to order, how much you need to order, etc., etc. Right, we can now save the details. So once the service work is completed, you can then change the status to completed and save the details. And you can specify the next service when the next time the service is due for this equipment. You can say, all right, this is now due November 24th, right? And you can say it'll be finished on November 24th, and you can say it'll be at 9 o'clock. Done. And you can specify the next service date, etc. Here. Sorry, the actual service, I cancel it. So I'll say the status is completed, and I can save it. So this was completed as of today, and the next service due is in November. And you can start at 8 o'clock. Done. So let's say November 24th, 8 o'clock, and November 24th, 3:40 p.m. So that way you can maintain your next service schedule for this item. And this completes the cycle for maintaining your equipment. So we have covered aspects of service and maintenance module of RentalSaaS, where you can specify the spare parts, the service types, and work order status and equipment status details, and gone through and specify the work order schedule and then the service schedule for your equipment. Hopefully that gives you an answer, further details on how to use the repair and maintenance module. I'm sure there will be questions, and we'll be happy to clarify these for you. Like I mentioned, we are already working on the next stage of the repair and maintenance module. So you'll have the ability to import your parts catalog if it is provided by your supplier, and the barcoding of equipment, checking in, checking out. And we'll also have the mobile and tablet integration, where you can capture the details of your equipment servicing. If it's done outside, people can capture details on their tablet device and send it to the RentalSaaS system on the cloud. So these are already being worked on, and we'll keep you updated on these enhancements. So RentalSaaS is constantly being improved, and as you can appreciate, software development is complex, and if you try to do everything on day one, the system will be developed forever. So we released the initial repair and maintenance module with key functionality that was requested by a lot of our customers, and we will keep on improving and enhancing the repair and maintenance module of RentalSaaS in the coming weeks and months, and we will keep you updated on these. Right, so we can go up to any questions at this stage. If you have any questions, can you please type them in the chat window and click the send button. We'll be happy to answer them for you. You can. Are there any questions? Do you want to enable the mic for all the participants? So if you want to raise your questions, we'll be happy to answer them for you. Right. Does anyone have questions? Okay, I have one question from Kathy. Kathy wants to know, how do you... Okay, she's retyping her question again. We'll wait for you to finish your questions, Kathy. Right. Kathy wants to know if she can schedule service for equipment that she does not own. She undertakes work for other suppliers, on behalf of other suppliers. Yes, you can, Kathy. Basically, in your RentalSaaS system, you need to specify equipment in the inventory management screen, and you specify whether it belongs to you or to somebody else, and then you can maintain the service schedule using the repair and maintenance module. Nothing stops you from maintaining equipment for your clients. Craig's got a question: can scheduled servicing be triggered by machine hours? Yes, that's one of the things that we are working on, Craig. Based on the machine hours, as and when it reaches machine hours of X, we'll be able to track it. Again, these are being planned in future releases, and we'll keep you updated to everybody. And Ian's got a question: will the presentation be available to view again later? Yes, we are recording the webinar, and as soon as this webinar is concluded, we'll make it available to all the participants. We'll send you an email to the link to the webinar. You're welcome, Ian. Are there any other questions at this stage? If not, thanks everybody. Thanks for your time. Really appreciate your time this Thursday afternoon. I know it's a busy period for everybody. It's just the new financial year starting here in Australia, and end of another quarter in New Zealand. So we know it's a busy time for everybody. So appreciate your time and your feedback, and we will keep you updated on the enhancements and other things for the rental module, for the repair and maintenance module of RentalSaaS. Thanks very much. Hope you have a great afternoon. We'll be in touch with you. Cheers and bye for now.